All right, here we go.
It's time. Just a Guy with a Beer with Scott Fryer is on your radio, your device, your tablet, your everywhere. Sit back and let Scott take you down the rabbit hole of beerdom.
Know your role and shut your mouth because the people's champ is ready to talk.
Here's Scott Fryer.
Hey, everybody, what's up? We are back here. Just a Guy with a Beer. We are at episode number 27. Can't believe it, our 27 episodes. But it's it's the end of January 25th, 2021. And I took last week off because my beautiful daughter had her 14th birthday and we enjoyed a nice family dinner. But I'm back here and I got an awesome guest tonight. I'm so happy. My man, the Thrilla, Bill O'Brien's in the house. What's up, my dude? Yeah, dude, I am so psyched. I could not wait for this. We talked about this maybe a couple years ago, or not a couple years, a couple months ago. We had talked about maybe you coming on. Once I got everything squared away with, my programming and being able to come on with guest remote and not have to be in the studio with the COVID and everything. And plus, you're like 4 hours away. Yeah. So I appreciate you being here, man. And thanks for checking in tonight. I know you do not consume alcohol, but that's cool. Even though this is just a guy with a beer, I will drink the beer.
You drink two for me. Drink one for me, drink one for yourself, and now we're water here, baby.
So listen, if anybody doesn't know who Bill is, you're missing out. So Bill and I met, we talked 5 years ago when you came here to play for the New England Black Wolves. And you're actually the reason that my son plays lacrosse. Besides me. But he went to see that game that night, and you got into a fight. Shocker. And and he said, "Wow, Dad, I want to play lacrosse." And I went and I bought him one of the little mini sticks out in the sales shop there, and the rest is history now. But you came here and you were an instant hit with the fans. The Black Wolves fans, they love you, and we still love you, man. You've been gone. This will be our third season without you here.
Yep.
Again, sports is a business, and you get that part of it. And sometimes you have to say goodbye to the players that you love the most, but you're still number one in the hearts of a lot of Black Wolves fans. So,
well, I like that, man. Sometimes I'll be after a game or something, I'll see pictures, and someone will be wearing a Thrilla shirt or a jersey with 96 on it. Gets me fired up every time. I love my time in New England. The fans, obviously, you're a friend, but the fans out there were just, awesome. Everyone became like family out there. It was definitely a cool team to be a part of, and the whole atmosphere, just building it from the ground up. It was an awesome experience.
And you moved on to Buffalo, and unfortunately, every time you came to town, you weren't on the active roster, which we were all disappointed in. I think they might have done that on purpose. Buffalo did that on purpose because we really wanted to see you play, but we did get to say hello.
Yeah,
a few times you were there. I know that you saw Dill was on the field as a ball boy, and you got to say hello to Dill, and that meant a lot to him. So we do miss you, and maybe there's a chance. I don't know. Maybe I'll put in a good word for you over there because I know a lot.
Drop a line, let them know I'm ready and willing. Maybe the training hasn't stopped. I'm ready.
So, people that don't know who Bill is a professional lacrosse player. He played here for the New England Black Wolves. You can watch on the ticker. We had 3 seasons with you here in New England, and then you were let go. You got picked up by Buffalo. You played there, and then you got picked up by the Boston Cannons, who are now part of the PLL. So, which is actually cool. So, tell me about your time in the MLL. How did you like that? What was the difference really from the NLL to the MLL? Besides,
it was much different. I wouldn't even say I've ever played high level field lacrosse. I've played in tournaments, but since high school, I hadn't played much field lacrosse. So getting back on a field with the Boston Cannons and just running with those boys, it was fun. It was a much different game. The speed of the game is it's different. I would explain the speed of box lacrosse very quick. A lot can happen in a short amount of time. Whereas field lacrosse, it's like we're playing at top speed most of the time. You'll think you're in good position on the back of a guy's hip, but in the pros, they just pull up and shoot, and it's like, oh, I was not in good position. I got to make more contact.
Right.
So like training camp was very eye-opening for me.
Yeah.
But I played my game. I played physical. That's my style. You saw it in New England. I like to beat people up physically.
And that's to me, that's lacrosse, though. I mean, I played as a young man. I didn't play at the level you were at, but I played in a semi-pro, and it's a physical game. Now it's like hockey, kind of like they're making it more of a finesse game and more of a skill game, but you have to have still part of that that physicality part of it, because you need that. You need to be able to defend your teammates, because there are people that will take advantage of your team. That was one of the things that you were known for. Nobody messed with, Sean Evans or whoever it was up on front. Now, he could take care of himself. You know that.
Johnny can, for sure.
Yeah, but you were. I hate to say the term enforcer, because you were more than that, because you're a skilled player as well. So, but that was really what your role was. You didn't just go out and play good defense. You were kind of the enforcer in it, because let's face it, every time there was a fight, you see the number 96 in the opponent's.
Yeah, I never shied away from anything like that.
No.
Especially the style I play. I'm a physical player, so I like to cross check hard. I like to take the body, and I get that from football. And then when it comes down to it, if you're a guy who's throwing your body around and you're kind of imposing your will on the offense, you got to answer the bell at the end of the day. You can't just be the guy who hits everyone, and then when someone wants to fight you walk away.
Right.
You got to answer the bell, because if that's your style, that's got to be you. So
yeah, and I love it, man. I mean, that's, to me, I'm an old school guy, and I know that the fighting and it is kind of frowned upon nowadays, but that people come to see that, and it's not really. Yeah. You should want to come for the lacrosse and the skill, because it's the box lacrosse. Now, before I keep on a ramble here on box lacrosse, could you tell us, people who might not know, what the difference between box and field lacrosse is?
Yeah, so box lacrosse is 5-on-5. It's in an ice rink with turf down. Rules are very similar to ice hockey, where fighting, you get a 5-minute penalty. It's much more physical than field lacrosse, in my mind, because cross checks can happen. You can physically move players out of the center. So it's almost like a mix of basketball and hockey. And then field lacrosse is more like soccer or football. It's on a football field or a soccer field, and you're playing 9-on-9 plus a goalie in each net. You got 3 players on attack or offense who can't cross the midline, 3 players on defense who can't cross the midline, and then your runners, the middies, who play both ways, and kind of the do-it-all guys. I would say field lacrosse, there's more space. So guys, there's not so much contact. Whereas box lacrosse, it's in a tighter space, a lot more contact. Personally, I think takes more stick skills to play box lacrosse, because you are in such a tighter space. Reaction time needs to be faster. But when I say faster, like I said, when I stepped on that MLL field and in training camp, the first couple scrimmages, these guys are 175 pounds running full speed, and they do a little split dodge, and they keep running full speed.
Yes, don't even slow down.
That guy is fast.
Man, besides the so I had never seen box lacrosse until the Black Wolves came to town. I mean, I grew up in New Jersey, and sometimes you would see the old school, like the Saints.
Yeah,
New York, New Jersey Saints. We played in the Meadowlands, and they played out in Lake Island. And I would see that, but I never really paid attention to it, because it wasn't a thing. I grew up it was baseball, football, soccer. But I think the biggest thing to me was the goalies. Like, a goalie in field lacrosse wears nothing except bigger, the padded glove, the armored glove on the thumb, and then he's got the chest protector. But that's all, and the bigger stick. But in box lacrosse, you got a guy like Dougie out there who takes up the net.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy.
Before we move on, yes, before we move on, you got to. I don't know if you've been following, but he has made. He started off the first year. He was a rookie, and he didn't play a lot because we had some other good goalies in there. But he's become one of the best goalies in the whole NLL, and I love to see it. His development over the last 4 or 5 years has been.
Oh, I was there the first year, and I mean, I knew he was going to be one of the guys in the NLL as a goalie. Yeah. He's the real deal.
I love it,
dude.
And I love that Coach Clark gives him the opportunity to go out there, and he had a fantastic. I think he was the goalie of the year last year.
Yeah,
so he had a fantastic year, and unfortunately, he got cut short because I thought 1,000% that we were going to win the cup last year. But it is what it is. I digress. We'll go back to. So you were a 3-sport athlete.
Yep.
In high school, right? You were lacrosse, obviously.
Yeah.
Hockey. I saw your video. Your skating skills are still sharp, and you were a football player. Now, you were a great football player.
I love football.
You won, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in high school, so I went to a very small high school, Lafayette Central High School. It's actually a junior-senior high school, and we got like 450 kids in just, Dylan, what's up, big dog? Let's go. Your pop says you're getting big. We got to get a workout in together. But, yeah, so Lafayette junior-senior high school, there's about 450 kids in the entire junior-senior high. I had 39 kids in my graduating class.
Wow.
For my football team, it's like the smallest class in New York, Class D. When I say I didn't come off the field my junior-senior year, I did not come off the field. I was the punter. I was on kickoff. I was on kick return. I played tight end. I played D-end, linebacker. There was 19 kids on my football team, so I literally did everything.
Wow. Yeah, that's not a lot of kids. So
I loved it.
Fantastic shape. No, that's awesome, man. That's pretty cool.
It made it easier for me because then when I went to college, I was like, man, I got to sit out. It's like these games take forever. I'm sitting here.
What do you mean I got to sit on the bench? You went to school here in Connecticut, right? You got a scholarship to Division I Sacred Heart.
Sacred Heart University, Shoe Pioneers, baby.
Yes, they're still good. They're still relevant in that circle, and they have a decent lacrosse team out there too.
Oh yeah, their athletic director Bobby Valentine. So when I left, they hired Bobby Valentine, who I guess he was like a manager or something for the Boston Red Sox. I don't know.
He was. Yeah, he was a good player. A better player than he was a manager.
But when he got to Sacred Heart University, he just started pouring more and more money into the sports programs. The whole campus looks completely different.
Right.
They threw up like 4 or 5 new buildings, a whole new like end zone like area with like presidential suites. It's pretty cool.
Wow. I didn't know that. I actually haven't been out to the campus. I drove by it before. I've seen science. I haven't been out there. There's a sub campus here in Griswold.
Okay.
At Dillon's High School, at Griswold High School, they have a Sacred Heart has a sub campus here. So
oh, nice.
You know about it, so that's awesome. So now you have 2 degrees, is that right?
Yep. Yeah, I studied business administration and marketing. So I was on track to graduate in 3.5 years because I wanted to play football and then leave in January and train for the combine and my pro day. So I graduated December 2009, I think. Yeah, 2009. But that spring ball the year before, I had got Tommy John surgery. I don't know if you can see that scar. I tore up my elbow. So I had to medical redshirt my true senior year and obviously wait a year to play another season. But during that year, I just got bigger, faster, stronger. And I got another degree. I got a marketing degree on top of it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and then
we're going to take a break. We come back and we'll let you talk about your college football experience, and then we'll move on to lacrosse. So we'll be right back with Thrilla, Bill O'Brien. He's live from Syracuse. We'll be right back right after this.
Just a Guy with a Beer with Scott Fryer. We'll be back in 2 and 2 belches. He needs a break to get rid of the gas. More of Just a Guy with a Beer coming up.
If you're in the market for a used vehicle at a great price, head over to GNS Auto Sales in Franklin, Connecticut and take a look at their great selection. BMW, Audi, Dodge, Chevy, Ford, and so much more. And whether it's an oil change, brake repair, or the check engine light, let Pat, Wendy, and their team of professionals take care of all your automotive needs. That's GNS Auto Sales located in Franklin, Connecticut. Give them a call at 860-383-0050 or find them on the web at www.gnsautosales.llc.com.
Have you got a taste for exquisitely crafted beer and pub grub with a foodie flair? Then These Guys Brewing Company on Franklin Street in Norwich, Connecticut has got what you're craving. Enjoy a variety of classic and unique craft beers brewed on site and indulge in a delicious meal with seasonal dishes from their scratch kitchen. And check them out on Facebook or online at theseguysbrewing.com to stay up to date with their freshest brews, current menu, and upcoming events. These Guys Brewing Company, where it's all about good times, great food, and fantastic craft beer. Keelfoot Clothing is the first 100% veteran sales team owned by 2 local Connecticut combat wounded veterans. Every garment is designed, printed, sold, handled, and shipped only by veterans. We source our products 100% made in the USA and believe if you have a flag on your shirt, that shirt should be made in the United States, period. Keelfoot Clothing Company, American made, American proud.
All right. We're done with commercials for now. Now, more with Scott Fryer and Just a Guy with a Beer. Hey, he's back!
All right, everybody, welcome back to Just a Guy with a Beer, episode number 27. Coming to you live from the Epicure Brewing Studios here in the borough, Jewett City, Connecticut. My special guest tonight is the Thrilla Bill O'Brien, professional lacrosse player, badass businessman, one of my favorite people. And over the last 5 years, him and I have got a relationship. He's forged a relationship with my family. And I'm not the only one. You could say that probably about a dozen people or more here in Connecticut. We retired with the New England Black Wolves, our professional lacrosse team here at the Mohegan Sun. So I definitely thank you for all that you've done for our area, for lacrosse in our area, because you may not know. I mean, indirectly, you've probably caused a lot of kids to want to go out and play lacrosse.
Hopefully not fight, but they pick up a stick. I'm happy with it. I'm happy.
It's good. It's good, man.
I'm certainly grateful for my time out there.
Yeah, and I don't remember you came out to when I was coaching youth before I moved on to the high school. You came to one of our clinics. You and Brett Bucktooth came out.
Yep.
That was the day that Brett almost killed me with a pass to the face. And I don't know how I got my stick in front of my face, but he was trying to throw it to me, and he's like, "Put your stick up, coach." He threw it right at my face, and I don't know, somehow I would have been missing a couple of teeth. But I remember you did that, and a lot of kids still talk about that day. So that was awesome, man. We definitely appreciate all that you guys and the rest of your teammates did and still do for the youth lacrosse community, especially.
Yeah, it's an awesome opportunity to have. So obviously, we're just as grateful for you guys supporting the team. So it's cool.
Yes, totally. So if you just joined us, we're talking with Bill O'Brien, professional lacrosse player, D1 football star. I don't just say football player, because you were a star. You were like all conference. You were like, I was looking at some of that stuff. I was watching some film. I was like, man, why didn't you play professional football, dude?
I tried.
You're feeling it, yeah. Because I was watching you. You had the locks flowing. Because
you did.
Bill's got the long braid going, but you were letting it fly back then, bro. You had it out, and you knew where you were out on the field because you saw that main just going 100 miles an hour at the football. That was awesome. So, tell me a little bit more about your football experience at a D1 college at Sacred Heart, and then we can move on to lacrosse and why you chose lacrosse over.
Yeah, at Sacred Heart, it was awesome. I got the opportunity to come in as a freshman and get an opportunity to play. And the coach there that was recruiting me, his name's Frank Joffrey. The guy's a legend. He's from the Syracuse area, but he actually coaches at UConn now. But when he was recruiting me, he's like, hey, you have a serious chance to play. Make sure you come in shape. Be ready for like the testing and all that. And kind of make a name for yourself. So all summer, I just got after it. I trained hard, lifting weights 5 times a week, getting my sprint work in, getting my speed work in, a whole nine. I got there, and I was probably in some of the best shape of anyone on the team. Did the running test, absolutely smoked everyone. It was crazy. I was like,
I believe all of that.
I worked too hard.
That's true. Yeah.
But it was crazy because and from that point on, the coaches were like, who is this kid kind of thing. And, that's one of the things I tell young athletes, and I try to get the message across: control what you can, right? If you can control your conditioning, how well of shape you are in, if you can control your size and speed to a certain extent, take advantage of that, because when you're away from practice, away from the coaches, they don't see you, and you come back, it just shows, 1, your work ethic. It shows 2, you care about the team and you're doing your part. So when I and from that point on, I was number 2 on the depth chart as a freshman, behind a senior, based off of just how good a shape I was in. And then it translated to the field, just having a motor, not fearing contact, just being that kind of guy who would stick his nose in there and not reckless abandonment is what my dad calls it. Run down on kickoff and just look to take someone out.
Yeah, you're flying.
What you need.
Yeah, I did that my junior year. That was my spot, because my team where I played, they had a senior who was super good. So I was on all of the special teams. So just go through. You see that gang of kids? Just run through them.
Yeah, just
all right.
You can't be worried about your body.
No, that's why I
yeah, you feel it later.
I'm almost 51 years old now. I limp, so that's why.
But and then just playing at Sacred Heart with all those guys, and having that camaraderie of a team, and just, it was awesome. I loved it. Division I football, it is what people say it is. It's a full-time job, plus you're in college.
And you got degrees, dude. That's amazing.
There's nothing else I'd rather be doing, though, than playing sports, going to college. What responsibilities do I have other than showing up, wanting to play, wanting to get better, and showing up to school and reading the books they give me and doing the homework? It's like,
some of my kids at Mitchell are listening to this, man, right now. For real, because that's the truth, dude. And I have a young man at home who is getting ready to experience that. He's going to. He's already getting interest from school. We talked about that a little bit off the air. So there's a lot of him and a lot of his friends that they're sophomores, juniors, whatever. They're going to start having that. And it's good to hear somebody who's went through it, just besides dad or coach, saying, hey, you got to work harder. You got to work harder. But when you hear someone who's done it and somebody they respect, they all know and respect, that means a little bit more to them. So thank you for putting all that out there, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, of course, my man. You know what? I can tell you, I played with guys who were the best player in their high school team from big schools in Massachusetts and Florida and Texas. They showed up to Sacred Heart and they just fizzled out because, one, they weren't willing to do the schoolwork. And at Sacred Heart, it was as easy as showing up to class and making an effort.
Right. It's even easier now with the online. Most of their classes are online, so it's even.
Yeah, so that now, I don't even know how that works, but it's a no-brainer. Pop your computer on, put your face in front of the screen, and just listen. But then it was like, you got to remember that everything you do while you're at college, you have an opportunity. So you don't want to ruin that opportunity. Obviously, have fun, be a college kid, but ultimately, while you're there is to get a degree and play a sport, hopefully, if you're lucky enough to play a sport. So show up every practice wanting to get better, willing to get better. And that goes a long way, and it's going to translate later on. And you're not going to look back in 40 years and be like, man, I wish I cared more at school. I wish I did better. You will have done it. So
now you can see I'm putting some of these comments up on the screen. You see those people that that you've met before, and
love Stephanie and Mike. They're
everybody, and I've got to know them too, and they're great people, and they're good fans. They're great lacrosse people. I've had some great discussions with Mike about lacrosse, on this side of texting or whatever, and they're great people and they know the game. When you see things like this from people that you know and people that you've met, this is what it's about, man. This is why I wish more athletes were the way that you are. And some of them are, but some of them when they get too big, they decide that they are kind of above that. You know what I mean? You keep it real, and that's one of the reasons why I think you're so well liked amongst the fans, at least from my perspective. So you keep it real, man, and keep doing that. It's you get these are the kind of comments you get, though.
Yeah,
man, people look up to you and they respect that. So
I tell you what, man, Muffler Mike, he has the most stats of anyone. He told me stats about me that I haven't even heard, and I'm like, dude, you're crushing it. I love it.
Speaking of stats, if you notice scrolling across the bottom of my screen here, I got.
I saw it.
I was waiting for the day that you put one in the back of the net during a game. Yeah, they never came. It still has not come.
Were you at the game when it was Rochester against Rochester? Final minutes of the game. There was like a loose ball scrum at midline. I pick it up and I'm getting like hammered. Open net. I shoot. Hits inside pipe. Bounces out.
Yes.
Sean Evan picks it up. Holds it for a little. They end up scoring.
Yes. I remember that because we were like, oh my God. Right? Because when you score, like the only person that gets me more excited, that's me as excited to see you score a goal is Brett Manning. Whenever the captain puts one in, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Always wanted to see you put one in the net, but that wasn't your job.
No, it wasn't.
To go out there and be physical.
I couldn't take the shine away. If I score one, I'm going to score them all. So I didn't want to take the shine away. That's what I thought.
I still hope to see that someday, that you put one in the back of the net during a game. Especially, it would be awesome if it was like overtime.
That would be
expecting it, right? No one would be expecting him. Take a shot. He's not going to.
Dougie would probably be like, "Let him shoot. Let him shoot."
You'll put one. You'll rip the corner, dude.
Yeah.
If you watch that, you see 0 goals. You got 9 assists. You've only taken 7 shots in 5 years of lacrosse. That's it.
Yeah, give it to the people who should be shooting.
That's it. What? True. But then the big thing, you look at it, 176 penalty minutes.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Mike told me that I was, I guess, the most penalty minutes by a rookie.
Yes.
In, I don't know if it's NLL history or franchise history. Definitely franchise history, but
it always seemed to be against Rochester too. I don't know why. Yeah. We talked a little bit about this on the air. My least favorite player in the league, maybe in all sports. Paul Dawson is not on that list of my favorite athletes. I'm not joining the Paul Dawson fan club anytime soon. But you guys used to have some pretty good bouts, man. I remember was St. Patrick's Day. It was a Saturday night. It was either Friday or Saturday, and you guys were wearing the alternate jerseys. And he was down low in the crease, and you hit somebody else, but he jumped you from behind, and he grabbed you around the neck. And then he was like bragging on Twitter like that he kicked your ass. I was like, bro, you hit him, you sucker punched him.
That's his MO, man. He got me in Rochester like that too.
Yeah, he sucker punched you, tried to get your jersey over your head, and it was punching you while you were tied up. And then, that's like you're proud of that, dude. Come on, square off like a man, dude. I've seen you guys do that. Like, I do remember he got a best of you once before up in Rochester, I think it was.
Yeah.
But he talked a little bit about that. But I remember a lot more times where you came out on the better end of that, especially against him and his teammates in Rochester. So
yeah, that's the game, man. That's the sport. If you're going to drop the mitts, most players, if they drop the mitts with me, like Andrew Suter, we drop the mitts, we square it up. Nothing but respect for him. He ended up being a teammate. I absolutely love that guy. He's a team guy.
He's gone now.
Other guys you just don't like, and it's like, come on. After a Rochester game, I was at Dinosaur Barbecue right down the road.
Best burgers in Syracuse.
Well, it was in Rochester. They have another one there.
Oh, okay, in Rochester.
Yeah, after a Rochester game, and Paul Dawson pulls up, and I'm like walking. It's after the game, and he's like yelling through his truck at me, and I was like, I stopped and I'm like, dude, are you serious? Like, are you serious? Come on, man.
Not that guy. And there was an article in Sports Illustrated that I found from April of 2015. It was after the Rochester fight where, he was talking about he kicked your ass and then he took a selfie with some kid in the penalty box. I'm like, dude, come on. Like it was like
that fight where he did turn my lights off for a second.
Yeah, he did. That was like the one time.
So before that, they don't show this on any video. You probably have to get the game film. I'm running off the field, and his brother Dan Dawson cross-checked me in the back. And he's like, "You want to go, O'Brien?" And I turned around and I pushed him. I was like, "Yeah, let's effing go." And I drop my glove, and I start to grab him, and we're by his bench. Paul comes off the bench and grabs my other side. So now I push Dan, and I turn to go grab Paul.
Yep.
So if you look at the stats, he actually got couple game suspension for third man in.
I got to take a break real quick. We're going to come back. We'll first move on. So just a guy with a beer. We'll be right back.
Scott will be back in just a couple minutes after he chugs this one down.
Hey, do you hear that? That's the sound of people getting together and having a good time. These are some of the sounds that you're going to hear when you visit Epicure Brewing on Franklin Street in Norwich. Epicure is a craft brewery that wants you to experience friends, a lot of laughter, and of course, Epicure's craft beers on tap. Bring your friends or come down and make some new ones while enjoying the freshest quality beer in the area. Epicure Brewing is located at 40 Franklin Street, Norwich, right in the heart of the historic district of Norwich. Check out Epicure Brewing on the web at epicurebrewing.com, as well as finding them on Facebook. So come on down and add your voice to the sounds you hear in the background right now. Follow the hashtag Epicure Brewing for Life.
Unify is a local full-service marketing and branding agency that helps your business strategize, develop, and implement a marketing plan using the best platforms and materials to connect you with the right customers quickly. Find them on Facebook at Unify CT or on Instagram at Unify_CT or call Laura directly at 860-326-6003. Strategize, develop, and connect. That's Unify.
During the break, Scott was contemplating his life choices. I've done nothing with my life. Now back to Scott Fryer and Just a Guy with a Beer.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Just a Guy with a Beer. So it's number 27. I got the man Thrilla. Bill O'Brien is in the house, baby. We're just going over a little history with the Dawson brothers from his NLL days here in New England. Man, that was always like if we needed a pickup, and if you follow sports, especially hockey and lacrosse and indoor lacrosse, because there's not as much fighting in field lacrosse as there is in box.
With the PLL.
The PLL gets a little rough, but that was always like that time where you needed something to happen, man, and you always look for guys like you to come out there and just put someone on the ground. And then next thing you know, the crowd knew it, and you get the team going, and next thing you know, boom, big win. So, you were saying that I brought that article up about that Rochester game where one of the brothers jumped you, and the other one, he grabbed on you, and that's how they roll, though. And that's how are they still they're on separate teams now, right? One of them went out west to the West Coast.
Yeah, Dan, Dan, he's a good player. He's a well-respected player in the league. I think he's we always battled. We threw our bodies into each other numerous times, and it's like, I respect that. I respect a guy who is going to play hard, and if you play dirty, that's fine too. Doesn't bother me none. But when you brag about knocking someone out and you're third man in, it's like, come on, dude.
Yes.
Come on, bro.
I told you in the pre-show talk we had that I was going to bring that up because he said something I didn't like, and that's exactly what it was that I was going to say, because I know the history between you guys, and I know a lot of the history of that, and I know that what he says is kind of BS. So we'll let that roll, and hopefully you get another shot at that guy, man, because I'd like to see you back in the league. And again, I'll try to pull my strings here and
the strings, I'm ready.
Maybe get that 96 back in the Mohegan Sun Arena. That would be awesome. So now you don't just do lacrosse, right? Because you do play in other leagues. You play in a lot of the smaller leagues. and you do really well. I always love watching. I love watching when you wear your helmet cam, and Dylan and I always get a kick out of that because you're always giving somebody a shot, and then they think they want a piece of you until they find out how strong you are, and then they you almost see in their eyes where the decision that when they realize they made a terrible decision. So I appreciate that. But you're a businessman. You did a lot of work. You helped co-found the Thompson Brothers Lacrosse.
Yep.
Now you have your own, and you founded Apex Nutrition Group. Can you tell us a little about what that is, why you founded it, and what you guys are doing?
Yeah, I mean, like I kind of mentioned with football, being in shape and being fit has always been kind of a passion of mine. When I was a young kid, I was like a chubby kid, and I wasn't happy with how I looked. And I would get upset and I would tell my mom, like, Mom, I don't like how I look. I'm fat. I was the kid who was hoping he got pushed in the pool so he could keep his shirt on and swim.
Really?
Like, we all know that kid. I was that kid.
Wow.
And
I didn't get that.
Yeah, my mom ended up being like, well, you can control that. You just got to work out and eat right. And I knew nothing. And she was like, I'll help you. Let's go for a run. And we started off just by going for a run. And then we started going to the gym before school at 5 a.m. And I didn't know anything. So I'm on these machines and I'm just like pressing away, reading the machine, like, okay, I'll do 100 of these. And it would burn and it probably did something, but it was just kind of building that foundation. And then obviously that growth continued to happen. And it became something I was very passionate about. I always wanted to get better. Obviously, our body is the one thing we can cultivate and use and experience things with. So it's definitely cool. Going to Sacred Heart, obviously understanding if I went in shape, I would have a better chance. That's what I did. And I reaped the rewards of that in school. And it continued to lacrosse. When I went to that free agent tryout in New England, I was just bigger, faster, and stronger than everyone there. And the coaches were like, who is this guy? We like him. Let's sign him. And that's what happened. So obviously being fit and training daily is kind of thing I'm very into. And I love working out every day. And I was taking different supplements. And if I'm taking something every day, I want to make sure it's actually benefiting me. And out of necessity, Apex Nutrition Group was born because there's a lot of supplement lines out there with shady ingredients or with artificial colors, artificial flavors that accumulate in the body. There's some studies out there that say red dye number 40 actually contributes to ADHD in growing children. So I'm thinking like, hey, there's red dye 40 in my pre-workout supplement. I work out every day. I take that every day. I wonder if that's accumulating in my brain. Asking myself questions like this. And then there was a point when I was actually invited to work out with the Buffalo Bills, and I was training with the Bills in 2011 after my college football days. It was actually during the NFL lockout, and everyone was taking this stuff called Jack 3D. And I was taking it, and I was like, man, I feel wicked strong. I feel like I got endurance. Well, like 7 months later, it comes out that Jack 3D had a derivative of like methamphetamine in it.
Oh,
yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I was a meth head. No wonder I didn't get picked up. NFL ain't looking for meth heads, man. And and I had some bad experiences, so I gave up all supplementation for years. And then I decided I wanted to try to cultivate my own. And through a couple years of just research and trial and error, I created a formula that I take every day that helps kind of build that muscle mass, helps you lose body fat, and keep you energized throughout a workout. Everything's properly dosed. So it's more for like serious athletes, I guess, or people who train who are serious about training. It's a higher end product that anyone can get benefits from it, but it's a little higher price point. So it's kind of geared towards that athlete, that someone who's very serious about their training regimen, if you will.
So if any of my listeners are out there or viewers right now, they wanted to try your product, how can they get their hands on it?
Yeah, check it out at apexnutritiongroup.com. And you'll see it's right there on the website. You'll see all the ingredients listed. It's got branched chain amino acids, creatine. We've got a nootropic in there that helps with brain health and focus. So the electrolytes are pink Himalayan sea salt. So there's a lot of good stuff in it.
Listen, if you don't know Bill, I'm with Bill O'Brien, professional lacrosse player, businessman, all around great dude. And if you don't follow him on Facebook or any of the social media platforms, you have Twitter, you have Instagram, Facebook. Please follow him, because not only are your videos awesome, but you get some great workout tips, and you do more than just fight people. And so the workouts are awesome. I was especially always wanted to get one of those hammers. I see you working out with the hammer.
Yeah, those two Masons are pretty awesome. I think I'm probably like 3 years ahead of my time. In like 3 years, I think that's going to be the thing for athletes, just because it's so dynamic.
Right.
Teaches the body like thoracic mobility and moving through the rib cage. For lacrosse, obviously it translates to harder shots, more durability. So they're definitely pretty cool.
So that's tell us your website again one more time, Bill.
It's apexnutritiongroup.com.
Okay, great. And I will post that post show. I will get your website and I will post it on my group, my Facebook page, and get that out there. So if anybody who's looking to improve your nutrition, improve your health, and work on getting bigger and stronger, and be serious about it, not just going to GNC and throwing stuff down your face hole. I've
heard horror stories about just going.
I know. I was there. I had before I met Brenda, probably right around the time, I was kind of like, I was up to like 260 pounds. And I was living in the barracks on the base. And I said, you know what? I was tired of being that, like you said, you were tired of being the fat kid. So I just started working out. I started eating right, but I started getting into the things I probably shouldn't have, because back then creatine was the big deal. And there was a couple other things that some athletes were taking. And I was like, I was going to starve myself and just, take this pre-workout all the time. And you're right. The pre-workout stuff, it makes you feel like you could, go do an Ironman triathlon. It wears off. Right. But I got down. When I met Brenda, I had already lost like 40, 50 pounds. And then by the time I got back from deployment, I was down to like 180 pounds. So I lost 80 something pounds in a couple of years. And I was really serious about it. And I wish that I had your supplements then. I wouldn't have put that crap in my body, but it worked out. So now I'm putting different kind of crap in my body. This one tastes kind of So we're almost up against a commercial break, but I definitely appreciate what you do and the Apex Nutrition Group. I think that's great. And again, I'll post that up on the website, your website up on my Facebook page and on my Facebook group, and everywhere else. I will put that up there, so in case anybody does want to get out there and try some of your supplements. And I think that's awesome that you're cleaning it up, man. That's good. Some of these kids out there, they're taking stuff they don't know what the heck they're putting in their bodies. So that's awesome. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the Onondaga. We'll talk a little bit about your heritage, because I think that's awesome, something I love, and we'll get into some more fun stuff. So we'll be right back with Bill O'Brien. You're watching Just a Guy with a Beer right here at the Epicure Studio.
Just a Guy with a Beer with Scott Fryer will be back in 2 and 2 belches. He needs a break to get rid of the gas. More of Just a Guy with a Beer coming up.
If you're in the market for a used vehicle at a great price, head over to GNS Auto Sales in Franklin, Connecticut and take a look at their great selection. BMW, Audi, Dodge, Chevy, Ford, and so much more. And whether it's an oil change, brake repair, or the check engine light, let Pat, Wendy, and their team of professionals take care of all your automotive needs. That's GNS Auto Sales located in Franklin, Connecticut. Give them a call at 860-383-0050 or find them on the web at www.GNSAutosalesLLC.com.
Mr. Beardo, beard oils and tattoo juice are the highest quality, no BS oils on the market. All hand and homemade to meet the specific needs of everyone's beard and ink. Just a Guy with a Beard personally uses both of these products, and I can tell you that my ink has never looked better, and my beard is fuller, thicker, and healthier than ever. Get your beard pumping and your tattoo popping with Mr. Beardo, beard oils and tattoo juice. Find them on the web at www.mrbeardo.com. Killfoot Clothing is the first 100% veteran sales team owned by 2 local Connecticut combat wounded veterans. Every garment is designed, printed, sold, handled, and shipped only by veterans. We source our products 100% made in the USA and believe if you have a flag on your shirt, that shirt should be made in the United States, period. Killfoot Clothing Company. American made, American proud. Have you got a taste for exquisitely crafted beer and pub grub with a foodie flair? Then These Guys Brewing Company on Franklin Street in Norwich, Connecticut has got what you're craving. Enjoy a variety of classic and unique craft beers brewed on site and indulge in a delicious meal with seasonal dishes from their scratch kitchen. And check them out on Facebook or online at theseguysbrewing.com to stay up to date with their freshest brews, current menu, and upcoming events. These Guys Brewing Company, where it's all about good times, great food, and fantastic craft beer.
During the break, Scott was contemplating his life choices. I've done nothing with my life. Now back to Scott Fryer and Just a Guy with a Beer.
Everybody, welcome back. Episode 27, Just a Guy with a Beer. Here in the Epicure Studios in the borough, Hewitt City, Connecticut. I'm here with the Thrilla. Hello, Brian. We are talking professional lacrosse, beating up the Dawson brothers. Listen, I was texting with Brenda during the break, and Dylan's actually up on the Apex site right now. So he's been taking some stuff called Bucked Up. I don't know if you ever heard of that. He kind of likes it, but if you can get something healthier into his body from somebody I trust, then I absolutely want him to maybe do the switch. So he's taking a look at that, and we'll see what's up. And then also during the break, we heard about G&S Auto Sales out of Franklin, Connecticut. And if you didn't see my page, I bought a truck this week from Pat and Wendy at G&S Auto Sales. So I don't just talk about my sponsors and take their money, but I actually go out there and I support my friends. So you should do it. Anybody looking for a vehicle, it's the easiest vehicle buying experience I ever had. It was bang, bang, bang. Wendy took care of everything, the paperwork. When I went to sign the paperwork, it was all done. She had everything ready to go. And I was in and out of there except we ended up talking for an hour. The process literally would have taken 15 minutes if I was just trying to get out of there. So G&S Auto Sales, Franklin, Connecticut, Route 32. Go see them if you're looking for a good, reliable used vehicle. I love my truck. It's parked out front right now. I can see it out the window. It makes me happy. So it's pretty badass. It's a big old Chevy Silverado. So big black. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So now, people that are not familiar with lacrosse, okay, lacrosse, it's not just a game, right? Lacrosse is more than just a game, especially to our Native American citizens. So, Bill, could you please tell us a little bit about the heritage of lacrosse and why it's more than just a game?
Yeah, of course. So lacrosse, a lot of people don't know this, but lacrosse is actually an indigenous religious practice. Every spring in the Haudenosaunee culture, a lacrosse game or a medicine game is played as a renewal ceremony between men and boys, but everyone in the community takes part in it. So in this men versus boys game, you're considered a man once you have a child. So technically, I'm still a boy. I'm a very old boy, but I'm still a boy. And you team up and you play this game. And it's played with wooden sticks like the one you see behind me. This stick actually broke in a playoff game for the Onondaga Redhawks. But it's played with wooden sticks, no pads. And it's believed that when you get slashed, when you get cross-checked, it's full contact. But you have kind of protection. You have the medicine of the game that is being created to protect you from injury, protect you from harm. So you're grateful when you get slashed or you get hit or when you, when your body is collided with another human. So that's a pretty cool aspect of the game. But as I mentioned, it's a religious ceremony, a renewal ceremony that happens every spring. Even to this day, it happens. So a lot of people don't realize that. And, there's a story that's told in young lacrosse teams on the Onondaga Nation. When you're coming up and you're a young lacrosse player, it's a story of the first lacrosse game ever. It's believed that lacrosse is a gift from the creator to the people as a form to provide entertainment and to provide medicine. So if you've ever been at a lacrosse game and you've got those chills, you got that smile, or you got that good feel, that's the medicine it's referring to.
Right.
But the first game ever played was played between the grounded animals and the winged animals. So the grounded animals, you had the deer, the beaver, the bear. The winged animals, you had the eagle, the hawk, and these animals played in this game. But before the game, a bat wanted to play, and people kind of counted him out. He was small. They weren't sure if he was a winged animal or a grounded animal because he had wings, yet he also had fur. He had teeth, but he could fly. So he ended up playing with the grounded animals. And long story short, this game goes on for a long time. And this bat, the guy who they counted out, ends up scoring the game-winning goal. And that story is told to all the young lacrosse players in Onondaga to tell them that, hey, look, every single player brings something unique to the game. Whether you're the bear, big, strong, with great hands. I always picture a bear catching salmon out of the Alaska River. Imagine how much coordination that takes. Or whether you're the eagle, who can soar high and dive fast, but see the whole field with your vision. Or whether you're the bat, the guy who's undersized, counted out, but can get it done when it comes down to the game's on the line. So everyone brings something unique to the game, and that's why lacrosse is so important to our community and to even the players who are non-native who play the game and understand that.
And as much respect as I have for the game, it was especially amazing for me to come out there and have the privilege to come out to the Onondaga Reservation and go to the field house where the Red Hawks play games and get a tour of the field house by the awesome people that run it, and then go over to the arena where not you know what I'm saying, the field house where you guys had the indoor lacrosse world championships, and then to go to the Onondaga Arena where the Red Hawks play. That was something else. And for someone who respects the game and loves the game and loves the awesome history of the game, that was really special to me, because I got to see the dirt field out in front of the field house that's still there, where all of some amazing lacrosse players that came from there that's where they played when they were kids. That's how they learned to play the games. So, and if anybody ever wants to watch more about that, you can watch the movie, The Medicine Game, which is an awesome history of the start of lacrosse. My man Bill, you are in that movie.
I sure am.
You're a young man in that movie, yeah.
And the flow is kicking still,
Yeah,
though.
sir. Yes, sir. And I actually have a copy of it that's autographed, your autograph, and then all of the Thompson brothers are on the cover of that copy of The Medicine Game. So go see The Medicine Game. It's actually, you could probably find it on Netflix or any one of those streaming platforms. It's awesome. It just teaches you so much about, and it makes you appreciate the game more than or I already do. So let's talk about one more thing before we got to go, because we only got about 6-7 minutes left. You live up there in Syracuse, and everybody knows up in Syracuse, that's Buffalo Bills territory. The Buffalo Bills, who are once again bridesmaid and never the bride.
It's true.
Left at the altar once more. You, my friend, you are a Los Angeles Raiders fan. How the heck?
Vegas Raider, baby.
That's right, I'm sorry.
We've been changing, but the fanship doesn't change.
Yes, but so how did that happen? How did you become a fan of the Las Vegas Raiders?
It was kind of forced on me by my dad, I'm going to have to say. He's a Raiders fan. He's a Flyers fan, because when he grew up in like the 70s, 80s, those were the teams that, you've seen me play lacrosse. You know the style I play.
Yes.
I'm sure that's probably partly genetic. My dad was a hockey player. He played the same style, very physical. But he's a Flyers fan, a Raiders fan. I kind of took on too when they were the Broad Street Bullies.
Yeah, they were tough back then in the 70s. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm a Flyers fan, and I'm a Raiders fan because, the old school style of play.
Yes.
I'm one of the guys trying to keep it alive, and I don't know if it helps my career at all, but it's just my style of play, and there's something to be said for hard-nosed players, I think.
That's respect because, listen, I'm a New Jersey Devils and Boston Bruins fan. Devils were not around when I was a little kid growing up, so I kind of like the Bruins. Now I live in New England, so I naturally follow the Bruins. I still root for the Devils, but I always had a healthy respect for the teams like the Philadelphia Flyers, the Broad Street Bullies, and I like the toughness that they bring, and even the Raiders. I always respected the Raiders, even though I'm a Giants fan. I always kind of rooted for the Raiders because you always had it for the silver and black. It was like going out there, and I want to go to a game, and I want to sit in the black hole. I want all those animals out there, and I loved it. But I grew up, watching Howie Long. I actually went to a wedding, and I sat next to Howie Long
That's
in
awesome.
Florida. It was actually really cool. This is back in the days when he had the tight, flat top, and he was still playing. So it was actually really cool. But like Lyle Alzado and those guys out there, when they were in the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl against Philly that one year, and then they beat the Redskins that one year when Marcus Allen had that big run. So I'm kind of I'm an old head. I still remember the 70s and the 80s. So I have much respect to that for growing up in Bills country, because that's big time Bills country. Now, did part of you kind of want to see the Bills make it to the Super Bowl?
No.
Oh my God!
I played college football played safety for the Bills for 6 years, and during the lockout, I was out there training with the Bills organization. And since they let me go, they lost the Bills fan. I'm going to be
not even a little tiny bit of you wanted to see all your friends be happy and
no.
No,
I'm a Raiders fan, baby. Blue, black and silver. The Auto Breeze is a Raider.
So many of my friends, I have so many friends that are either Patriots fans or Dallas Cowboys fans. I'm a diehard, dyed-in-the-wool Giants fan, and I'll never change. But I live in Patriots country. You worked here, you lived here for, you know how they are. They're all kind of quiet lately, except they're all wearing Tom Brady Buccaneer jerseys now.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of Dallas Cowboys friends, and I will never, ever, ever, I don't care what the situation is, I will never root to see. I don't care. I want my Cowboys fan friends to be miserable. I don't ever want them to win another. They haven't been relevant in almost 30 years. They haven't won in 30 years, and I love it. And that's like the Raider fan. You probably feel that way. You never want the 49ers to win. Nothing. Not even in the same division, but the Raiders and the 49ers, man. That's a rivalry, dude.
Yep.
That's that. Yeah. It's interesting to see that you were. I mean, I knew you were a Raiders fan, but I didn't know the story behind why. So that's pretty awesome, though.
Inherited.
Cool teams, yeah, man. You see, what about baseball? Do you follow baseball at all?
Cincinnati Reds.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
Why the Reds?
Follow the same suit, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't watch baseball. I don't follow baseball, but when I ask who to root for, that's who my dad tells me, so I'm good with it.
They had it back in the late 80s and early 90s. They had the Nasty Boys there in Cincinnati. Those guys were tough, man. You didn't want to get in the mix with those dudes. I mean, I grew up in Jersey, so I'm a diehard Yankee fan. So, but now basketball? Do you follow basketball at all, or got to be a Syracuse?
I don't follow basketball too much. I am a LeBron fan, obviously, just because of what he does. I always like the guys who are like the best of a generation, and people still find a way to trash them.
Right.
It's like he's one of those guys, like he clearly has God-given talent. And he's been doing good things. So it's like, I love this guy. And like Tom Brady, I hate the Patriots. I'll say that. Just because 2001 with the Tuck rule, they annihilated the Raiders' life. Since then, they haven't been the same. But I want to see Tom win this Super Bowl.
I do. Well, dude, I have to say it's time for this to end. As much as I love it, it's time to go. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much for being here. And it's great to see you. We're going to talk again soon. Tune in next week, guys. I'm going to have Barb Baker from Brooklyn Brewing, and it's going to be a great show. Bill, thanks, my dude. Be well. Say hi to Conk for me. Say hi to the fam. And I'll see you guys next week, 7 o'clock right here, Facebook Live. Don't go anywhere. And please do not beer shame your friends. Peace out. Take care, Bill.
Later, brother.
You've been listening to Just a Guy with a Beer with Scott Fryer. Check out Scott Fryer next time over most of these same radio stations for conversation, information, intelligence, and lots more beer. See you next time on Just a Guy with a Beer with Scott Fryer.
Okay, bye. Stop making noise.
It's time.